Texas Congressman Michael Cloud. Congressman, thanks for being here. Before we get into that, because there was a judge who just made his views clear about whether we should just have mass releases. DHS Secretary Mayorkas was speaking yesterday. He was putting the blame on you, on the Republican Congress, for not coming up with better laws on immigration. Let me just play a soundbite from what he said and get your reaction. Roll tape.
Our current situation is the outcome of Congress leaving a broken, outdated immigration system in place for over 2 decades. It is also the result of Congress's decision not to provide us with the resources we need and that we requested.
Mayorkas was appointed by President Biden. President Biden had 2 years with a full Democrat Congress in the House and in the Senate. They didn't change any immigration law that I noticed. So what is he doing here, putting the blame on a relatively new Republican Congress?
Yeah, well, Mayorkas is continuing this word shell game he's been playing with the American people for quite some time called hide the truth. And the truth is that he's had all the authority. He has more resources in this administration than the Trump administration has, and he's doing a much more pitiful job. Trump had everything. All they needed to do was nothing to continue to have a relatively secure border, and we've seen just the situation at the border just explode, and it's horrific what's happening. You know, we all know what's happening with the cartels and the fentanyl deaths at this point, and then watching what's going on right now. He's done everything he can to obfuscate the law.
Yeah, you know? and it's been going on for a while, Carson. It looks like they have been creating a crisis over the past 2 years in order to get Congress, in order to kind of blackmail Congress to do something that they want, which looks like what they're pushing for is a blanket amnesty for those who came into the country illegally.
Exactly. And here's the thing. He'll talk about, oh, we're not using Title 42 now. We're using Title 8. It was never an either-or thing. Title 8 has existed for quite some time, and 42, the provision for that Trump put in place just was meant to be kind of another extra provision over all the things that he's supposed to be doing already. And so thankfully, the House GOP yesterday passed a bill that even strengthens the current law, because he's using any sort of perceived loophole he can find to just obfuscate what is the clear understanding and meaning of the law.
However, we are a country that is overseen by a judicial process as well as a congressional process. A judge in Florida just announced that he wasn't going to allow mass releases. Mayorkas claims there are no mass releases, but if there are no mass releases, you wouldn't have a judge saying there shouldn't be any more mass releases.
Well, I can tell you, I just got back from D.C. I've been back in Texas here for about an hour. Already talked to some sheriffs. They're sending me photos of what's happening at the border and who's being released, and you know, all the people being held in city parks and the like. It's chaos down here, and it's all because of what the Biden administration has refused to do. And
now there are children dying who are being held in custody. Not to mention the hundreds and thousands of migrants who have died making that trip over the past 3 years. Congressman Michael Cloud, I hope we straighten this out. I can't see at the moment how we do, but I wish you best in trying to do so. Appreciate you coming on.
Thank you. God bless you.
So what went under the radar at CNN's Trump Town